Welcome back, everybody. We're here for another edition of Workout Tips at Stoughton Patch. Ben and Sandy, trainers at the Stoughton YMCA, are with us again. We're in the TRX studio at the Stoughton YMCA, and today we're going to work on squats, which are sure to make your quadriceps sore and also your gluteus maximus. So let's turn it over to Ben and Sandy, who have all the details.
Alright, so today we're going to start off super simple beginner squat exercise. So anyone can do this at home. Sandy's going to go right to the wall, and she's going to stick her butt to the wall, keep her upper back glute to the wall, and she's going to walk her feet up towards me a little bit, just like she did. So from here, all she's going to do, keeping that butt and her upper back glute to the wall, is just lower her butt down, and then come right back up. So you can see she's getting pretty deep right now. Depending on how you felt with that, you can even just come down a little bit and come right back up. Another thing you can do is also called ski squat. So Sandy's going to show you, there's just little pauses. You slowly go down. She pauses. She go down again, another level and pause. Even another one down, and then come back up. So you could do just 2 levels of that. You can make your levels all whatever you want to set them. One big thing you want to think about when you're doing these squats too is that you're keeping your knees over your ankles. You don't want them sneaking out in front, and that will keep your knees healthy, especially if your knees bug you. If they are bugging you, step a little bit more away from the wall, and that should be alright. So that's our beginner squat. Alright, so now we're moving on to an intermediate squat. So anything we do when we're taking away the stabilization and stable base we have behind us is going to make it a lot tougher just because you're going to be using a lot more muscles. So this is when we're starting to get into the actual squat position, standing away from a wall. So what Sandy's going to do is she's going to stand so that her butt's facing the bench. So feet shoulder width apart or a little wider. And she's just going to roll her hips back first, sit back, and she's going to touch her butt on that bench and come back up. So you can see that movement right there. It's hips back first, then those knees bend as she lowers. Keep a nice, proud chest up, hands come out in front for balance if that feels more comfortable with you. And if you want to make this a little tougher, you can just add weight in. So also you can hold this wherever it's comfortable. You can hold it by your side, you can have a heavier dumbbell in the middle, or she could always hold them right up here too. So there's a few different things you can do to start to get intermediate with the squat. Alright, so now we're getting to the good stuff that's really going to get those legs working. So since we're advanced now, Sandy's already holding weights because we don't need to get away from those anymore. It's going to add some resistance in. And what we're going to work on is getting a bigger range of motion now, which is going to use those muscles more. So what Sandy's going to do, she's going to line up again, so feet shoulder width apart, just like she did in front of that bench. And as she lowers down, as her hips come back, she's going to sit down to 90 degree angle right at that knee. So as she's down, she's getting a lot deeper. So you can see, nice proud chest still. So on the way down, she's working, she should feel it back here in her glutes, up here in her quads, and as she presses up, she's going to feel that also. So a big thing to think about during this movement too is when you come up and you stand forward, you want to stand nice and tall, squeeze those glutes back there, and then come back down and stick them back out. Another thing we can do with this is to add in what Sandy calls a thruster. So what she's going to do, she has the dumbbells right here. As she squats down, she's going to do the same range of motion. As she moves up, she's going to go quick and explode and throw those hands up. So you can do this at a slow speed. You can make this super explosive so you're even coming up on your toes. It all depends on what you want to do. And then one last movement we'll show you for the squat. Another advanced movement would be jumping. So again, like we did with the lunges last week, we kind of add some plyometrics in. You're going to work those tendons and ligaments also, make you a little quicker. What Sandy's going to do, she's going to lower down into that same range of motion and then explode with her hips forward, up into the air. You see how she's landing right back on her feet. So if you want to make that more intense too, you just explode up and then go right back into it. Again, something else you can add to that circuit with a push-up, lunge, jumping jacks, and make a pretty good workout out of it. So that's advanced squat.
Thanks, Ben and Sandy. What's the most important thing to keep in mind when doing the squat?
I would say with the squat, again, with everything else we worked on, is form. If you're doing it wrong, you're going to hurt your lower back, you're going to possibly hurt your knees, so kind of pay attention to that stuff first. Start at a lighter set or at the more intermediate, beginner type stuff, and then work your way up to the advanced stuff, once you get in better shape and you can handle it. So as long as you keep your form in mind, just nice stable core, working on everything, then you'll be safe doing it.
Alright, thank you. We'll be back next week on Stoughton Patch showing you another workout exercise from the beginning, intermediate, and advanced levels with Ben and Sandy at the Stoughton YMCA. Want to thank Evan Schneider from Vivid Visions for filming this series for us. For Stoughton Patch, I'm Jeffrey Pickett. Thanks for tuning in.